Well, welcome back to Tech Tips for Seniors, or anyone really. And my grandson has a hobby that I've been really curious about, making physical objects right in his room or in their living room using something called a 3D printer. Now, I'll be honest, at first I thought this doesn't apply to me at all, but after talking with him and seeing this gadget in action, I realized how amazingly cool and practical it actually is. So today I brought on my grandson Luke and his dad Andy to break down what a 3D printer is, how much they cost, what you can make with them, and how you can even try one out for free at your local library. Stick around even if you just want to impress your friends at the next get-together with, you're going to love this one. So, Luke and Andy, welcome to the show. Luke, how long have you been doing 3D printing?
So, I haven't been doing this for very long. I've only been doing this for a little bit less of a year.
Oh, only a year. Wow. Okay, cool. And if you had to explain to somebody like what a 3D printer is, let's start off with this question. To someone who's never seen one, how would you describe it?
So, 3D printer is something that's quite useful. It can make things that are items that can fix things to useful, fun fidget for kids. And it's just sometimes really fun to bring your imagination together, because sometimes you can also design stuff as well.
Okay, yeah, that's cool. I see one sitting there right next to you in the view. So that's the gadget we're talking about, right? That's really
Yep.
cool that you actually have one. I've heard about them, but I didn't know people could even own them until you got into it. So, Andy, when Luke first asked you for one of these things, did you think it was just another toy, or did you see the practical side right away? What's your take on these things?
At first, I thought that it was just going to be a toy that was going to get used, that it was going to make lots of stuff that just ended up playing around the house. But it's turned into something so much more than that. There are a lot of practical things that I've seen other people print that you can use a 3D printer for to make things for around your house. Luke likes to use it for making things for himself and has used it as something to share with his friends, which has been really cool, that he can make his friend a birthday present or just a little gift for people who come over to spend some time with us for a while.
Oh, all right. So, Luke, tell us about, or maybe even show us what one of your favorite things are that you've actually printed.
Yeah, so this is probably one of my first things that I ever printed, but I printed this. So it had bottom bar, and as you see, there are two buttons. When I push this button, that other button pops up, and I can just play with it for hours, and it will never break. I've done that many times.
Okay, that's pretty cool. I guess that's what they call a fidget, right? Is
Yeah.
Yep.
that thing? I've seen them in all different shapes and colors, but you can make your own. That's really pretty amazing. So, Andy, what about you? What are some of the practical or useful things that it has printed that actually fix something, or maybe save some money, or maybe not?
So the best example I can come up with right now, Luke got a model rocket for, I think it was his birthday one year. We launched it one time and lost one of the pieces to the rocket, the part that actually holds the little motor that shoots it up into the air. And to replace that one part was going to cost like $40, almost the cost of buying the whole thing over again. So I said, let's look and see if we can 3D print it. Um, there are websites that are just full of free things you can download and print it all on your own as long as you have a 3D printer. So I found one, downloaded it, I printed it after Luke went to bed one night, And unfortunately, it was supposed to thread together, and the threads didn't quite line up, and it didn't work. So we need to try again, but we tried. It was not successful. They're not always successful, but it was worth a try.
Yeah. Oh, and I guess you haven't purchased the $40 item.
No, we have not yet.
You're saving money right now while you're holding off on it. That's good. Oh, I like that. I like actually that there's some experimentation that goes into the process and doesn't necessarily come out perfect. That's just shows how creative it all is. That's really cool.
Mm-hmm.
So just a general question about cost. So how much does like a beginner setup cost? And what do you feed the printer to make stuff with?
Yeah. So usually I had this one for right around $300. But as you said, what do you feed in it? So we have this. This is a kind of filament, and there's a hole in this part of it that you can put it into. You press a button and it will come out. Right.
Mm-hmm.
I see. So you can actually buy the printer for about 300, if I understand what you're saying. And then there's these spools that you buy that have how much they cost roughly.
So I don't think this one, it could be around $14.
They come in different shapes and sizes. Hold yours up. You can see mine's a little bit smaller than the one that Luke has. They come in different quantities. They're usually sold by weight. Usually you can get between $10 and $20 depending on the color that you're looking for.
But I guess a spool like that probably makes a lot of items for just on one spool. So yeah, you could probably make a lot of items, even if it does cost quite a bit to get into it.
And it only takes one color to get started. Like you only need one to get going, and then as you get more comfortable with it and you want to get more creative and do things with different colors, then you can expand to that later. You don't have to purchase them all up front.
Or maybe you can get your aunts and uncles or grandparents to buy you a bunch more colors, right? That could always happen. You never know.
I think Luke's collected about a dozen colors over the year.
Okay, yeah, he's pretty well set up. That's cool. So that's the next question. Is that printer is pretty small and compact. Are all of them that size, or do people need to have like a big workshop to put bigger ones in? And is it true that you can really go to the library if you want to do some of this?
So it is pretty true. Yes, you can go to a library. You can even take class about it at the library. It doesn't really matter if you need a workshop. If you're looking for like a dozen bigger printers to test, they're not all the size. But if you're looking for a dozen of bigger than these, you probably want a bigger workspace, is what I'm in right now. But totally try to think about size of your area and just where you're putting it. That's something.
So the one we have could very easily be put on the kitchen table, used when you want it, and then put away. If you didn't have a dedicated space for it, we kind of made this Luke's dedicated space. They do make printers that are much bigger than this. Luke is currently saving for one that's probably about twice the size as this one, which will let him print bigger items all at once. It will also let him print more than one color at a time. This particular printer only lets him print one color at a time.
Oh, so there's another one What's that, Luke?
I can change when I'm in the middle of a print. Sometimes it's harder though. So
okay. But there sounds like there's another possible second printer coming in the future here.
Hopefully.
The habit is expanding, or the hobby, I should say, is expanding.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. Okay. So let's see. Can you just maybe start it up and show us a quick demo and walk us through what's happening step by step?
yeah, so I have this running right now. So while we're running, I could do that. So I can get that. So, as I said, there's a hole in this part. So on the back, there's like a place where you can hang it. And there's a little end. Usually try to keep it flat, but it can be a little angled. And there's a hole. Just put it in there so you can see it's there. Push a little bit, and then there's an arrow on that right there. I just push it, but I can let go. It would slowly just go in. And somehow, yeah. There's a tiny little clump that came out. A little one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I think think of that.
And what are you using over there?
So there's like a bunch of different devices you can use. You can phone. I've heard use a computer for this when you're designing sometimes. And I use an iPad, but for real quick, I will just hit start on something
Mm-hmm.
and we can show you how this will work.
Look at that. So the thing is actually controlled by a software program on an iPad. And then the device starts to take commands and instructions from you about some kind of a picture or of something that you want to make. Is that what is on your screen there or something like that?
Yep.
Okay, so you've already told it what you want it to do, and now it looks like it's moving. And as I've understood it, it makes this item in layers, like it just starts to build and build upon itself, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
One layer at a time. Yeah.
Okay, so it puts the bottom layer down and it adds another layer of plastic. That's a plastic spool, I guess, that you have, and it's going to build onto it. That's pretty cool. Look at that. It's just going like crazy, just starting to make whatever what is it that you're setting it up to make right now?
So it's a single little chain. So I
That's
can
called a link.
Yeah.
The link of a chain.
Link of a chain. Oh, okay. And then
then like I could print as many as I want of these. I could print a full plate of these. That's what the black part is. And I could just make a full chain.
so about how long would a link take to make? It looks like it takes a little time.
We're almost 3/4 of the way there.
Oh, wow.
Like a minute.
It's pretty fast for something small.
So this is the fastest printer they probably made in this brand, but it's a very fast one, and it's a small one too.
Okay, well, while that's working, let's just ask a question to both of you. If a listener wants to see one of these things in action or try it out with their own grandkid, what's the first step that they should take? What would they do?
You want me to take it? First, I would say go talk to your local library. And we're done. Go talk to your local library. Find out if they have one. They may have classes that they offer that will teach you what it is, how it works, and even let you print something on your own. Our local library will let you send in things that you want printed, and then they will print them for you. You can also look for a friend that has one and ask to come over and see it in person. Or in Luke's case, find a local business that will teach you how to 3D print. They have her classes for kids and adults, and it's kind of open for everybody.
If I know Luke, he'll probably be starting to teach classes himself pretty soon, and he'll be making some money on it. What is it that you got? What did you get out of the machine? Yeah, hold it up so we can see what that is. Okay, so that thing literally formed a link for a chain, which seems simple, but you said you can just make multiple links and make yourself a chain pretty fast. That's incredible. Well, this has been very interesting, I think, and I'm really anxious to hear from listeners if you have questions or things you'd like to see us talk more about when it comes to 3D printers. But Andy and Luke, thank you very, very much for being on the show. It's been a real pleasure to have you, and thanks so much for sharing what you know with our listeners.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us.
Well, that's about it for this topic. Let me know in the comments section if I missed anything you'd like to hear about on this topic. And also, please take the time to add a like and a review. It helps out a lot. And if you've done that already, thank you. Until next time, stay tuned for more tech tips for seniors, or anyone really.